Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. We have something quite exciting here. This is the brand new Seiko 5 Pepsi limited edition GMT. Now it is available in two different flavors, pardon the pun. You've got this one here, the GMT variant, which is the larger of the two, and you've got the slightly smaller 38mm, which is a day date only. That does look very nice, but I think this one does look very, very special. The reference model of this one is SSK047. Now, there's only going to be, and I do say only, 7,000 pieces worldwide of each model. Now, you may say that is an obscene amount of watches and, you know, they will never sell out. Trust me, these will go very, very quickly, because you've got to remember that 3,500 will be kept for the domestic market. So that means only the other 3,500 is for the entire world. That will go very fast, I believe. So much so that First Class Watches only have a few and are actually doing a prize draw, which means you enter it, and if you succeed on November the 10th, you will be allowed to buy one. That is what kind of demand they are expecting for this kind of watch, so be aware. But before I get too far into this review, I've got to say a massive thank you to the team over at First Class Watches for allowing me to review this piece. Lots of cool, interesting brands, many you may know, many you may not. So if you're in the Midlands area, strongly recommend popping into the shop. If you're a bit further afield, don't worry, I'll leave a link in the description and at the bottom of the page now. Or else if you do contact them, please mention the channel. So sizes of this one, we are talking a 42.5mm case size, a thickness, Seiko say it's 13.6, but I've measured 14mm, and if you include the Cyclops, it's coming in at 14.75. So a little bit different to what they say. The lug to lug across here is coming in at 46.3mm, and the bracelets, well, the strap size on this one is 22mm. The dial. The dial is very cool and classic Seiko 5. So you have the matte background there, the black matte background, but what they've done different is the applied hour markers. Instead of having that polished outer edges like they normally do, they have gone with the kind of Pepsi blue colouring across there, and it looks very, very good. Not only have they done that there, but they've also gone for the second hand and gone along with that same blue on there. It looks really good, and across, you know, against the highly polished hands, that blue really does stand out. We also have the classic GMT hand on this one, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a second. Now, there is plenty of lume on this dial, as one would expect from any Seiko. It's just a shame they've kept it only to the dial and not out to that bezel. Obviously, we have the chapter ring around here, which also indicates the 24-hour, which is good for setting the GMT. And then we have the applied Seiko and Pepsi GMT down there. And I like the fact it is only a date model. It makes it a little bit cleaner. So, as mentioned, GMT, what's it mean? How do we use it? So, normal timekeeping is quite straightforward. This is coming on for 9 minutes to 2. Now, if we're going to use the GMT hand, you just simply forget that hour hand. So that will then be 9 minutes to 4 in the afternoon, 1600 hours. Now, being the fact that this has a rotating bezel, you can then set a completely different time zone as well. So if you want somewhere which is, I don't know, you know, it's kind of ahead and it's actually midnight, you would actually line that up with midnight. So that would be coming on now to, you know, 9 or 8 minutes to midnight. And you would read the normal time as, you know, 9 minutes to 2, and you'd read the other time zone down here using the internal bezel like that. So you do have the ability of 3 different time zones. But I don't know many people who actually need that. 2 I can understand every so often, but if you're one of those people, wow, fair enough. So as we come past that, the crystal is actually a hard lux on this. I'm surprised I didn't go for sapphire, actually. I would have thought I might have. But anyway, it's got an AR coating, and I think it does look pretty good, to be fair. The thing about the hard lux crystals, they always give it a slightly softer look to the hands. I kind of quite like that, something a little bit different. Always options aftermarket if ever you want to swap these out, though. The bezel. Now, the bezel is very cool. You have the classic Pepsi style bezel. And what the two different colours are for is evening and morning. So that's where the kind of time spread is. They can say anything before 6 as morning, and then it goes in and obviously changes as it gets to 1800 hours and comes round. We do have this, I'm not quite sure what it is, if it's hard lux or not. It's not sapphire, so I'm not quite sure what it is, to be fair. But when it comes to rotating it, it is just on a friction bezel, and I'm not kidding, it feels lovely. It really is. It's smooth, but it requires just that enough force to mean it isn't going to go anywhere. You know, it just feels right. It is very good. We have the classic style knurling around, well, machining really around the outside, and it is done in this PVD black. So it definitely got a very funky look to it, this one. I quite like it, to be fair. Now, the case of the watch is the classic kind of style Seiko 5 as seen on all the other models. But this one features a black hard coating on there. Now, I don't know how hard it is, but they do say it's a hard coating. So nonetheless, I'm presume it's just a DLC, but I can't say for sure. We have radial brushwork going atop the lugs there. The lugs are drilled through, so it makes it easy to change out, swap bracelets or straps on these. And the classic kind of crown over here at the 4 o'clock position. So I think it is quite a nice looking watch, really. It definitely has this kind of cool vibe. On the back, we do have the smoked back on there. And beneath that, we have the 4R35 movement. Now, I put this one on the time grapher. At first, it wasn't that great, but I demagnetized it, and then it was running actually pretty amazing, like +1 second. Now, I know many people will shout on about and say, well, that's amazing, it's chronometer specs. But remember, that's only in one position I had it. I then twizzled it round and did it at 90 degrees in the pendant up, pendant down positions. And basically, I was getting a delta, so variations in timekeeping of 16 seconds. So that's a big difference. As anyone can get a watch to run dead on in one position, it's whether or not in all the other positions, if it is still good. Now, the price of this watch I've neglected to mention. It's £470, and it does come in an absolutely amazing box. But first things first, let me mention this silicone strap. I think it is really nice. It feels incredibly premium. It is very good. You've got nice hardware going up there with a nice chunky pin on there, and you've got the classic Pepsi on there. So that is just very cool. So on your wrist, anyone can see this is a Pepsi. I quite like it. Let me just show this. The can, I don't very often normally show the boxes of the watch, but this just looks amazing. Pull this out and your watch goes in there like so. I think that looks so cool. As a novelty factor, it is simply brilliant. Even feels like a proper can. I should have actually mentioned the movement itself has got 41 hours of power reserve, 24 joule, bi-directional winding, all the good stuff. Let me put some on my wrist so you got an idea how it looks. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing my modified Seiko 5 I brought quite a few years ago now, actually. One of the very first all black models which came out from Seiko. If I line it up there, you get an idea how it looks. So this basically started off live. I can't remember a reference number now, but obviously I've changed hands, bezel insert, bezel, yeah, quite a few bits and pieces really, but it gives you an idea how another one actually does look. Is that just wind that around because it will bug me. And another Seiko I own is the XKS 007, which is just a classic one really. I've replaced the movement in that with an NH35, though I still have the original somewhere. I could serve it, I suppose. I could service it, but I haven't bothered. My wrist size is 7¼ inches, works out to 18.5 centimeters, give or take. And that is it on my wrist. It is quite a cool watch, actually. Something very different. And if you're a Seiko aficionado, you'll know straight away what model that is. So I don't believe it's actually available for sale at the moment, but I say first class watches are taking entries already. I believe there are quite a few. So this watch could sell 10 times over with them. So if you want one, try and get one very, very quickly. Anyway, all the best, guys, and most importantly, stay safe out there. Take care. Bye.